in a while ago. I don't know if I'm coming in on the back end or front end. They just said tag here yet. An issue with a student and a sub.
That's right. I was in my office.
This was when?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yes, yesterday. So that was the 20th. This was during third period.
What time is third period?
Third period starts at 10 to 10:55.
Okay.
And because of testing, Coach Floyd, the sub was subbing for Coach Floyd. They all boys, because that's weight training. So you're dealing with some hefty guys here. Pretty much got, justice of pick. And so, and because of testing, they couldn't go to the gym, so the rooms were assigned other classrooms. So Coach Floyd's class for that period was assigned on my hall, which is A124. And the kids were not there at the time, so Mr. Laney said, where are they? And he says, where is Coach Floyd's class meeting? And I said, I believe they're on my hall. So I saw the sub waiting outside the door.
Classroom door or your door?
The classroom door. And he waited for and then he said, okay, so Miss Lane's okay, I'm bringing the boys. So all the boys go down the hall. Mr. Sasser, that's really his room. He left out. Because you see him leaving. So everybody's settled. The hall is clear now. Nobody's on the hall. And I was sitting there maybe within 10 minutes of the class. I would say within 10 minutes of the class period. I heard noise. Loud. And when I look up, the part that I see is I hear rumbling. And I said, what is that? And when I got to go see, I didn't have to go see because when I got up, this guy is Hulk built. He had Justice Marable, the student, one hand, Justice's hand in his back like this. He had his other hand around his neck. And I'm sitting there going like, what are you doing? Like, I couldn't believe it. It was almost like if he was a policeman, if a guy, somebody was being, uncooperative, you try to restrain them, you try to handcuff him or something, but I can see the hand, but he actually, I don't even understand why he put his hand on him. That's the part I don't understand. But he had the hand behind the back, and he had the other hand on his neck. And what Justin basically was saying is, let me go, man, let me go. You have no right to put your hands on me. This is what Justin basically was saying. And I got between them.
Stand up for that. You're going to be the big police, so if you don't get charged.
Okay.
Show me how it was.
All right. You're the hook guy.
I'm going to be the student.
You be the student?
You're going to be the big strong.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So he's coming in like this. Got his hand behind his back. He's pushing him like this.
Okay.
Like that. I mean, heavy.
Can you show me that? It's just a lot clearer image than me.
Turn it right down like I said. Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
So at that point, I stepped in between. And I looked at the sub. And I said, and I guess I was flabbergasted at first because I'm like thinking, I'm an administrator and I'm saying, we're watching you. And I don't believe what I'm saying. And we've never put our hands, we were told you never put a hand on a kid like that. Like I said, unless you're trying to restrain. And I said, they told him, you need to go. I said, you need to go. And I was telling, I grabbed my arms around Justice. I said, Justice, I got it. Let me handle it. Calm down. And, Justice said, well, you don't put your effing hands on me like that. And I said, Justice, I agree. You're right, but let me handle it. Don't make it worse. And immediately I called his mom. I had my secretary call his mom because I didn't want anybody to text mom and have her to hear it from out in the street. And I immediately called Mr. Metters over the radio and I said, I need you here like yesterday, the principal. And then I called Mr. Laney, same thing. Laney, I need you down in my office.
he, at that point, the sub is, you've told him?
The sub is quiet. I mean, I just told him to go. He did go back. So when I told Ms. Lena what I had seen, when I told Mr. Meadows what I had seen and heard, Mr. Meadows instructed Mr. Lena to go remove sub. He said, take him up front.
Was at that point, when you put your arms around the student, was he
Justin
trying
was,
to re-engage?
no. I was just trying to console him and let him know, don't go toward him. I mean, because it was like, this could have gotten ugly. I mean, it was already ugly, but it could have gotten worse. Because when people know Justice, they know that he's, turned on. Okay. When Justice gets upset, he has known to the mouth. He does have a mouth. And I said to Justice in front of Mr. Meadows, I said, now, you've known to be a hothead sometimes. He said, yes, ma'am. He said, I say what I said in the class. He said, but when he grabbed me, and everybody was pretty much saying the same thing, that he kept provoking Justice, and it just made it worse. And you can see on the camera, because I pulled the cameras up, I have 2 views on the camera. You can see where he stepped out in the hall with Justice, and Justice looked at him, I guess, and it's almost like he didn't say something like, Justice, just go ahead and go to the office. He didn't send him to the office. He personally escorted him, and I've never had a teacher to escort a kid like that to the office.
Yeah, I had one do me like it all the time. But she was just mad.
So Justice calmed down. He was trying to tell Mr. Meadows the story. Justice's mom is calling, because we at the time,
I'm sure.
She's calling, and I said to her, I had you called because I want you to know there's been an incident, not that he's heard anything like that, but I didn't want you to hear it from out in the street or da-da-da. We're working on it. And then Mr. Meadows talked to her after that point. But the main thing was the grabbing, and the real strong hold.
How firm was he as far as the holds that he had on him?
I had to say let him go. I mean, I had to tell him to let him go. I had to tell him. He had a grip. He had a very strong grip.
Was the hand up here, was it more on the shirt or was it around the neck?
It was around his neck.
Here.
It was around his neck. And I looked at him like, go. Like it was like, Delvin, hell, you need to get out of here, basically. Like I said, I think I was more shocked that I didn't know what you mean. It was like, which one do I protect? Because it's like, I know to protect my child. But I think I was still more shocked at the fact that I saw what I saw. Considering the fact that he doesn't know kids like that, or they don't know him like that, or I don't think I've ever seen anybody, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen
like Coach Gardner putting his hand on somebody and saying go to the hall.
If Coach Kendall came up to Coach Gardner, Coach Kendall, somebody who's there all the time, I said go, come on, you need to go. Even Officer Parks, you'd be like, okay, because that's the nature, that's the relationship that they have. This guy, I think, went overboard.
How long has he been subbing?
Maybe for like 2 months, maybe. One other thing that concerned me one time was, not that he put his hands on anyone per se, but like, I always go around the classrooms, I'm checking to make sure everybody's okay, teaching anything. And then when you hear we have subs, I always try to check those classrooms. And sometimes I know which class is going to check on more so than others because they're going to act crazy when the sub is there. Well, everybody was kind of excited one time about this guy because they were like, nobody was doing anything while he's there, because he's just sitting there kind of looking at you. And I remember walking in one time thinking like, I introduced myself and I said, I'm one of the administrators here. And I remember saying, when you see me coming in, I'm not checking up quote unquote on you per se, but I want to make sure the class is okay if you need anything. So it'll give you this look like why are you in here? And he'll be on the cell phone sometimes.
My area.
Yeah, yes. And I'm like thinking, man, you're the sub. But at the same time, on the other half of me is thinking, well, nobody's going to bother to do anything in that classroom, because they'd be afraid to move. And we haven't had anybody do it, in that classroom. Because usually, how you can go to a classroom and every time there's a sub, there's going to be somebody come get this one out, not in that class. Well, the last time he was there at the school, prior to yesterday, and he was having lunch in the cafeteria. And he was sitting down at a round table. At that time, he was by himself. And I was going through the my lunch would be his first or his lunch, so I think this would be the second or third lunch, but whatever it was, I was going through the cafeteria to go get lunch for another kid or something. And when I remember coming back, some students had joined him. They were females. So that kind of like, if it was a regular teacher, if it was somebody who comes all the time and visits, and they see the kids, you don't think anything about it. But so that's something I can say that I could remember, those
just didn't sit real good.
Just didn't, he's like, we're just going to keep an eye on that. Other than that, it's very quiet.
I want you to give me the terminology that I'm looking for, okay? I think clearly the arm behind the back is a arm bar style of hold. Would you classify that? I mean, that sound right? It's kind of what we call it here when we do that to somebody.
Okay.
The hand around the neck, is it a choke hold? Was it in a choking nature? Or was it, and I'm not downplaying, you gotta understand, I gotta get this right. Was it just an obsessed gripping nature? Does that make sense?
Obsessed.
Okay.
Very obsessive. And I think I even used the word rage, because his eyes didn't sit well with me. I just remember his eyes like, whoa. This is somebody that's angry.
So an obsessive, rage, demeaning type.
Yes. Yes.
Am I right with that?
It was over. I believe he overreacted for something that was, to me, based on what the kids were saying, based in the room, based on what could have been just like, let this boy go.
Right.
But, okay, in the room. But then when he got down the hall and to continue to, like, push him, and that grip was just like, well, let him go. I mean, he's here now at my office. You can let him go. And even with that letting go, he was still mouthing.
You tell me as a administrator what should have happened. By the book.
By the book, whenever a sub or any teacher has a problem with a student, they immediately radio the front office. They'll say, I need an administrator to remove a student. They never, we always tell them to back down. We tell the teacher to keep their cool. Or a teacher or a sub will send a student. To the nearest admin. So we always hear the call like, I heard it over here. We need an administrator at room, blah, 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 blah. We need anybody at, like that. That's the normal thing. And then a third choice, sometimes a sub can say, do you mind if I let Johnny come sit in your room right now? He's not cooperating. And that's what we asked, like a buddy system. So he had three choices.
If I got this right, they should have called the office.
Yes.
Had a student go to the office.
Yes.
Or move to a third classroom.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Training wise, do the subs get anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know. And that's I know I want to be a principal one day, and I know it's going to come soon. And I'm thinking if I'm a principal, not that what happened yesterday, based on what happened yesterday, if I knew that I had certain subs come to my school as the principal of that school, I would have a meeting with all of them and say, here,
Yeah, it kind of sounds like
the expectations have not been set.
I
don't want to put anybody on the bus.
Right.
I'm just saying what Demeter Bynes would do.
Right.
And I know that it's coming soon. I promise you. I just know it's in my heart. I know it's coming soon. And I keep saying, God, you keep giving me all these scenarios, and I know that that's when I gotta have to keep up with me and keep up. So technically, I would have, if I knew that I had subs come to my building often, and they work very well, there are two things that I would do. I would sit down with all the subs and meet with them and talk about the expectations of how to run the classroom, what the teachers have been trained to do, and how we want them to continue to model as best as they can with those same rituals and rules and expectations. And then the second thing that I would do is I would have a feedback form for the sub and a feedback form for the teacher. In other words, I would ask the sub things like, did you find your class list? Did you find work? Did you find what you needed to do to keep that class? Da da da. Then I would have a feedback for the teacher on the return back saying, this was a sub that was in your class. How did you find things? That way now. And now I know that if I constantly get this sub that's always getting marks of good excellence. Like for example, we have Miss Morgan, little petite lady, and she is smaller than some of the kids. But you can count on her to be the best sub that we ever had. I mean, she can go into the class with all those boys, and they never give her a problem. She can go to ISS, and they'll never give her a problem. You never have to worry about her. And if you come back, the teacher knows that the work is going to be done. They can leave a test, that kind of stuff. So we know that she's on the top of our top list. On a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 10. You would be a 0. You'd be like a 1. And then that way, as a principal, I would know that from now on, when it's time for a sub list, you go for these first. And if I think I'm going to get a bad sub, a person like him, rather than call, obviously he's not going to come back, but rather than call him, I might just go to teachers and say, I need you to cover these classes. I would have a teacher that I know is in the building. That's what I would do.
Right. I'm going to cover this with you and make sure that I've got everything and I've got it like you told me.
Okay.
There was a third period incident.
That's right.
They were moved to A Hall because of testing, graduation testing. Is the reason they were in that classroom that they were in.
That's right.
You were actually in your office when you heard the noise, looked up and saw the sub with a teacher, one arm behind his back, the other hand around his neck. The student was saying, get your hands off me. I just lost my place, I'm sorry. Stepped in, told the sub to go. Morris put your arms around the student and told him that you would handle the student saying some things back to the sub at that point. You notified the student's mother and the principal, and you felt like it was over the line. And then I covered the way it should have been handled according.
That's right.
She also, I don't know if it's policies or just the way.
That's our
protocol.
That's our protocol, exactly. That's the word.
Anything else that I need to know that there's been no prior incidences, I guess. He's only been there a month.
Yeah, been there a couple of months.
Do you know if he's subbed elsewhere in the system?
I do not know.
Am I correct in saying, and I think my father-in-law's subbed for y'all all the time. He's retired from there. My wife's a teacher, so I think I understand a little bit about it. But am I correct in saying that if I were a substitute teacher, I could tell the system I'm only subbing at Troop and Rosemont. Don't call me for anywhere else. I'm not going.
That's right.
They can do that.
They will.
Not necessarily saying that.
Right.
You get that all the time.
Right.
You may wind up going somewhere else.
Right.
But if you.
There's a list that Sharon Commons has.
Right.
And it's an approved list of people who can sub. And some of them will say, I only want to do elementary or middle. Some of them will say, I don't want to do high school, whatever. Or some say, I don't care.
Right.
Whatever. Over the last month and a half, we have had maybe 3 new subs come in. They've been all males. And we were like, yay! Because we don't have a lot of males. And we're thinking that this is good. This guy is a white male. The other 2 that's come in is a black male. And the reason why we're saying that, because we got these students, these boys, we're thinking, this is great. This is great. Got some more male presence in the building. And again, everybody's kind of joking, like saying, like, you might as well mess with him. Nobody ever thought that would be, and he talked about the fact that he was a former, I've had a conversation with him. He said that he was a former student at Drew High School. That kind of stuff. And we've had to we've dismissed one, since I've been here in the last 2 years, we've had to dismiss another sub. It was a female. And I'm thinking about the incident, and that student, that particular sub provoked kids in another way, but it caused confusion. And Mr. Meadows said, okay, we don't need this person here. So I'm just saying, if we get rid of her as a sub and it was more of chattering, I definitely want to get this guy who get hands on somebody. Because I could see, I wouldn't trust him anymore with any of my kids. I would be like, because something else would happen and it would be worse. And it may not be as quick for somebody to get there. You know, as the way I think we intervene.
But it did appear they were coming to your office and not.
He was bringing them
not just blundering up the hall.
No, he was definitely bringing them to the administrator. He was doing that. I think the manner in which he did it was not protocol.
Right.
And even if it wasn't protocol, if he wanted to escort him to the office, the camera clearly shows him with his hands on him. He could have said, "You go ahead," and that's the case. Usually, like if I even have an irate student, I'll walk behind them. I never walk beside them, but I walk enough to kind of keep an eye, and I make sure that if I see a male or a female, another teacher, I'll say, "Keep an eye on this." That way, somebody else is seeing what I'm seeing, and I escort them up. But I never actually, if they're very irate, I never walk side by side with them because I feel like I want to give them their space. And if they want to hit something, they're not gonna hit me.
Right.
And I have enough time to go run or go get somebody else for cover or whatever.
Do you have a copy of the video?
I can
Y'all made a copy of that
we
yet?
can get a copy.
Yeah, I need that like quick as we can.
Okay.
If we can do that.
Because there's two of them. You're gonna see, because of the way the hallway is, you're gonna see the one on this hall on the end where he comes out the door. Well, no, the student comes out first. You see him coming out. They have some words. You see him step next door to Miss Wimbush's room and like come watch. You see them go up the hallway, and as much as you can see of that. Then I went and pulled the other camera from the other angle, and you see him coming up the hall. And the thing that's really interesting, he must have pushed him or something because the way the camera is set, when they come up the hall, they don't come like straight up the hall. The kid's over here at this point now. And then you see him coming toward my office, and then you see him disappear because I pulled him in. That was yesterday.
You want to go ahead and handle whatever's going to happen today while we're here? Just kidding.
We've had some kids to say things, some threatening things, when we've had to deal
About
with it.
this?
Well, not about that. And I'm thinking, and he was pretty good. I haven't heard anything about it today, so I'm pretty sure Mr. Meadows or somebody has gotten it justice and said, whatever it is, don't discuss it, whatever. I think, I'm not saying because it's our school. I think because the way we did it yesterday, it helped to keep the chatter down.
Right.
Because if we had just kind of and I asked Mr. Meadows, the last thing is I said, Mr. Meadows came back down because Mr. Meadows, after he heard our side of the story, he went up, he talked to the sub. He came back to my office, he said, "You're right." He says, "You need to do a statement." He said, "Because what you told me matches what I've heard and what the guy said." And then I said to him, "He's not staying here, is he?" He said, "No, I've escorted him out the door." So I'm saying that, and the only thing was Parks wasn't there because it could have been a thing to make it really sound good. We could have said, "Okay, we need a policeman to come escort this guy."
Have you read his statement?
Yes.
Subs? Give me just a second. I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
while you're here in case it gives me something else. Classroom and proceeded instruct students on materials. They may have to take my direction to money. Teacher. put his hands on the videos?
No. No.
But he clearly states in here, the student turned around and pushed me in the chest, and at that moment I grabbed his arm and the back of his neck and walked him into Dr. Bynes' office. Once in the office, the student said, F him, and Dr. Bynes turned to the student and asked him to be quiet and sit down, and also asked me to return to the classroom and await administration. But you never see that on the video. Was this closed to show? The teacher?
I don't remember. I just remember his eyes. I don't remember anything that like it was out of the ordinary.
Two questions for you. And I pose this to a lot of folks in situations like this. One. Is it a criminal act, you think?
Oh, it was a crime. But it's definitely unprofessional conduct.
Right. Two, what would you like to see happen in this investigation?
That he not return to our school. And that the mom is assured that that's the case, that he would not return to the school. And that basically, I guess what I was saying, that we need to have sit down with meeting with our subs. We need to make sure that we have a protocol, and that as a principal or a superintendent, whoever it is, that's taking care of hiring our people. That it's more than just a training. It's also, this is something that needs to come from the top, from leadership.
What's your expectation from us? And the reason I ask this is just so, I want to talk to you more clearly in a minute. I like to get y'all's stance as administrators versus the teacher or the sub or the student. Sub and the student, I don't really care what their opinion is right now. It's either criminal or it's not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in what you're a third party here.
Justice is served from the point because the mom contacted you. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
The parent called you?
Ma'am, I have no idea who contacted us.
Okay, I think the parent
come up here and said, you're dealing with this.
Oh, okay.
And I said, okay, and I come to see y'all goes on.
I think now, and I could be wrong, I thought the parent had contacted and said, I want to press charges. If the parent says that, if she's saying press charges against the sub himself, because she's not holding the school liable, because she felt that we did our part, then I would want you to do what you would do for any normal investigation we would do, like that, for that standpoint. But I would want to make sure too that our kids know that they're safe. That's our two goals at school: education and safety. And I want them to know that they can feel safe knowing that. And even if it means from a policeman standpoint that you all come in and give us a training class to our subs and say, here are some things that you do and don't do because this is the case that happened. Or it's borderline. It could have been criminal.
And the reason I understand I have probably more training in Georgia law than you do. You have more training in
educational law.
Class
Right.
That's why I ask you, in your opinion, was it a criminal act or not?
It's border.
Okay.
I think if someone hadn't been in there to intervene, it would have gotten ugly. And I'm thinking by me stepping in, I think he already had crossed the line just to pull him up.
Right.
As a professional person, whether he's a certified person or not, he is hired by the Troup County School Board of Education to serve his children. So already we have the code of ethics, and he violated one of those code of ethics, which says you don't put your hand on a kid. And let's say if he was a certified teacher at this point in time, while the investigation was going on, this person would be under investigation. They would not be allowed to return to work until the investigation was over. they would have pay or whatever. And then if it was determined that they were guilty, their license for teaching would be revoked.
Right.
If he was a teacher right now in our school system, he would be out the door. Now he's a sub, so we can at least guarantee he can't come back. That was what I would like to see. And then just I would also talk to Justice or whatever once you finish.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll wind up talking to him and the sub. But
let him know.
They're directly involved. They're not third parties.
Yeah.
They've got their mind made up. I can assure you, both of them, which way they want to see things go.
I understand.
Versus somebody on the outside looking at it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she doesn't need to be subbing anywhere.
Was the entire incident from the time he came out of that class to the time they got to your office, is there ever a point where we lose video?
I think the times are pretty much right there.
Am I correct in saying that one camera is shooting one way and the other? So their cameras on the opposite end of the hall.
That's right.
And they're shooting down. It's not like there's a short hall there that's...
No. So there could have been maybe 5, 6 seconds, 10 seconds that something could have happened in between that time that we don't
So
see.
they won't pick up.
No.
If I stood dead center of that hall, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to see me on the camera.
That's right. In fact, when you see the angle from this way, I'm calling it camera 107, just because you know what I'm talking about 107, you can see them down the hall where the room started, but there's a glare from the sunlight that you know there are 2 figures there.
Right.
But you don't see so clear that you can. Now, when you get to 107 by my office, there's no doubt that you see exactly when you even see the kid come out the bathroom and you see everything. Even where the 128 camera, which is by the room, it's very clear. But the further the distance, the more distorted it becomes.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There's nothing. We don't have any cameras that just go straight down from an angle. And then, yeah.
And I don't know how big of a deal this is for y'all, but I'm going to need it. Any camera that you have on that home that shows any bit of them or this incident, we'll need it.
Okay.
That way, I can say to either a judge or a parent, one of the two, will wind up,
The best.
with this, and I can look at them and say, I looked at every possible angle from every possible camera, and this is what I got. Now you say something different happened, show it to me. Because
And
this
the
is
reason
what
why I'm probably more passionate about it because beginning of the school year, I had a kid, quote unquote, supposedly, accused me of hitting them. All the people that was around said Dr. Bynes never laid a hand on that kid in terms of hitting.
Right.
She put her shoulder on the kid and said, hey, you need to calm down. They never could find any evidence that I hit the kid. Yet, I was written up for that.
Well, that's what I say.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying, but you never saw it.
Right.
So it never got past, it might be a letter in my file or something, but I was kind of like, whoa. Because that kind of gave me a shock, like, you gotta be careful what you do with kids. So that's why this is more like, I see how I could have been involved in the same situation, but it never got to that point.
Right.
And the cameras didn't have anything to reflect anything, so there was no evidence. And all the kids kept saying, no, you didn't do that.
Now that's why I say if there's a camera that picks them up during this time
There's
frame, I need
nothing,
a
no.
copy of it.
There are 2 cameras,
That's
camera 128, camera 107. 107 sees is a better angle by my door. 128 is the better angle of where he's coming out of the classroom door. But if there was any kind of tussling with any one of them at any point in time, you're not going to see any of that on either one of those cameras.
Yeah, but I know they did.
You
but
do
just
see
to make
his
sure,
hand.
you never have to turn from the time they come out of the class to your office is a straight shot.
That's
There's
right.
no other turns. There's no other hallways. I know A-Hall has a little short piece to
Not
it
that,
there.
my home
It's
was straight up.
back.
All the bathrooms are right there, boom. No. And there was some noise,
Right.
but no.
Oh, sure, I mean.
Yeah. And that's what got my attention. Because I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. Mom was contacted to keep him at the class. The other thing that I think that we did justice by her son is the fact that we didn't give him a referral because clearly if he had been a teacher and something was going on between, it could have been different because it would be disrespectful, that kind of thing. But that was clearly kind of more provoking from the sub standpoint. And so I don't think the mom has a problem with us. I think, this is what I'm going to say. I think there's so much happening at Troop High School right now that I think that whoever decided to contact the police department figured if we don't do this, we don't want our name in the paper saying that we didn't do something.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, we're not going to get into a case with the school system.
Well,
we want you to do this.
You know how folks run to the board office and start saying, well, they didn't handle that right. So I think that this was the protocol. So that if somebody can say, did you all do? We can say this and this and this and this was done.
And I've dealt with them before on issues, and there's times we have a difference of opinion. If there's a crime that's been committed, we're going to lock him up. If there's not a crime that's not been committed, then we're not. Because we're in a situation now where a complaint has been made. Once that complaint's been made, that report's been filed, I have no leeway in saying, all right, you behave, and y'all go away from each other.
No, I think he needs to take away from the school.
So,
definitely not be a sub, and especially you don't have foot on back on that campus again. I think he needs to be banned from that campus. That way, any kind of game or something like that, at the school or any kind of, people can say that he's not allowed. That's what they would do with a person that's just coming out on what you call those people, pedophiles. But then so many feet, they're not allowed within so many feet, of the school system. To me, that would be sufficient. Don't let me look up and see you looking around at my door and at my car.
That's right.
Getting at me because.
Well, once we get a little bit more into it, I'll call you. I'll probably have more direct line with you versus. And the principal, I'm sure, I've got to contact them.
Right.
You're the administrator, I guess, kind of overseeing this. So I'll call you or come see you.
Yeah. And see, I had justice last year. He's my freshman youth night, but that was another reason why he listened.
Right.
He's often sent to my office because they say they say he'll talk to you, he'll listen. His mom and I have a report, and I didn't talk to his mom like that, but I knew that it was my best interest to call her. And I still haven't talked to her anymore since yesterday. And I did say to him today, I just saw him today. I said, is everything okay? He says yes. Fine. That was just the extent of it. I haven't discussed anything else with him anymore because as far as I was concerned, the less I say, the better. And I didn't want anybody to think, because one teacher was concerned that he's going to think that he got somebody, like in trouble. And I said, no, I don't think it was like that. I think he realized that it was, he made a statement that he realized, he said something he didn't have to say. But this time it was clearly on the adult's part.
Well, we're going to dig and see what we come up with. And I'll certainly be in
It'd be kind of
contact.
interesting to see what he did before he hit us up. Why is he not working? Why is he not working? I mean,
Yes.
is he some sumo wrestler or something?